What up, everyone? Shark here. I have an epic 2v2 for you today. We are on Crossing in the Woods. Don't worry, no invisible MG42s. On the Allied side, we have FooKilla from the US and Bismarck from China playing the American Forces WS team. We didn't see it in the 2v2 tournament, but maybe it'll work out here. And then opposite them on the Axis side, a mixed team, you've got SirAMovesALot, aka Dumais, playing the DAK, and Zulu playing the Wehrmacht. Casting this one with me is Fancy Josh. If you haven't seen his channel, he casts a lot of top 10 1v1 games. He does observer mode stuff, so it's almost always live. Check out his channel. The link's in the description below. If I didn't emphasize it enough before, this game is insane. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we are here on Crossing in the Woods. In blue, we have SirAMovesALot playing the DAK. That is Dumais, I think. In teal, playing Wehrmacht is Emergency Action Message Zulu, whose name always changes but has Zulu in it. We have FooKilla in red here, playing Airborne. And then his teammate, also running US, is Bismarck in purple with the heavy weapons. The co-caster, as I mentioned, is Fancy Josh. And Josh, I know you have feelings about Crossing in the Woods and the way to play this map, so why don't you run those down for us?
Yeah, so Crossing in the Woods, been in the map pool a really long time. I love this map personally. It's well balanced for 1v1 and 2v2. So starting out, you got these cutoff points here in the middle, connecting you to the majority of your fuel. What's interesting about this map is, especially in 1v1, you can have players spread out all across the map trying to secure as much territory as possible. But as the game goes on, the fights tend to start centralizing around the middle, with players able to rotate off of these cutoff points to get at their victory points on the edges there. So really fun map. It's going to lead to some dynamic gameplay, and I'm excited to see what these players have to bring.
Yeah, so you bring up a couple interesting points. The cutoffs have shifted from the CoH3 version of this map. And so what's kind of resulted is, I think it's actually easier normally to maintain the fuel that is across the river from your base, rather than the one that's on your side of the river. So it's a little weird, I think, with they got rid of the negative cover from CoH3 and then they changed the cutoffs. One other thing I wanted to highlight, this map at this point is notorious for being the home of the invisible MG42, but fortunately Zulu has chosen to go breakthrough, so we won't see any of that abusive camo action, at least not early. And then FooKilla being very aggressive with the airdrop 1919s, trying to take up a lot of terrain here. And it actually looks like the Allies are going to get a relatively strong start with contesting the fuel on the north side of the map as well.
You know, what's cool is Bismarck is going for lots of heavy MGs, and he actually just switched off to a bazooka here to deal with his Africa Corps opponent here, which I think is smart. But I was about to say, I think Bismarck might be going for the classic heavy machine gun and half-track combo, so we'll see what he's thinking about there.
And then just stall straight into the Pershing. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty
so
popular these days.
It's like, it's really frustratingly effective when you're on the other side of it. I like this from Zulu as he has his grenadiers run around this structure. Oh, finally. Oh, that's an MG42 shooting at that house. And now MP40s pop on the grenadiers, and that HMG is forced to vacate. But FooKilla, well, Allies putting on a lot of pressure early. They're hitting the cutoff, and they're grabbing the second fuel. So Axis very early on the back foot here. Pretty unexpected, if I'm being totally honest. Oh, here
I think
Zooks. Go ahead.
They're definitely going to come away with a fuel advantage here, at least in the short term, especially if they can manage to hold this bottom side for any amount of time. Sorry, the left side here.
Mm-hmm.
So
the clown car pushes the scouts out of the garrison on the north side, but the bazookas are there. Fortunately, they just continue to whiff shots, so the half-track's going to get away. And a scout squad gets run down by SirAMovesALot here with the Kreuzschützen. Oh, and then the bazookas immediately smoke it as it tries to force away that machine gun. Wow, this has been a dynamic start to the game. Look how far FooKilla is pushed up on the fuel right outside the base. That does not bode well for the Axis team, and now Para is landing on the south side.
Yeah, Allies are definitely off to a strong start here. Maps blinking all sorts of colors on the right side, though, so I think we're going to continue to see territory trade back and forth rather quickly here.
Yeah, what do you think the answer is with all? Oh no, a nice, well-placed mine from Bismarck, and SirAMovesALot has to abandon his 250. It looks like it might actually escape, though. Not enough penetration on the SMGs to threaten it at range. Oh,
he's still trying, though.
The flanking maneuver from the captain. You love to see it. But yeah, so that 250 is going to get away. The Axis team stabilizes just a little bit. I was going to say, like, what do you think the answer is with up against 5 machine guns from the Allies and now a half-track hitting the field as well? A heavy weapons half-track.
I think my answer is going to be a little unpopular. I think I overvalue indirect fire. I love seeing it from players, especially against heavy machine gun spam. Of course, it does have that weakness to the barrage from the 75mm half-track. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I know Africa Corps struggles with the indirect fire even if they pick it up. So, yeah, that's my answer, even if it's not the right one. It would be my answer personally in the game, so...
I mean, it makes sense. It can take you so long to get there, right? Like, the Walking Stuka is a phenomenal answer, but it requires tier 4 and 70 fuel. The Recon Tractor can be nice, but still that's locked behind tier 3 for the DAK. So, despite all of that, the Axis team has actually taken up quite a bit of map control. Not as much fuel, but they've pushed up to the center and gotten a brief cutoff. Which I'm kind of impressed given the amount of like map control elements they're dealing with right now.
SirAMovesALot adding on that AT gun, wanting to deal with these half tracks at range, it feels like.
Honestly, with all the bazookas on the field, or it's just one. No, is it 2 or 1? It's just 1, but they're in the half track. I think the AT gun's a better option. If you play too heavily into the light vehicles against Zooks and 50 cals, that can work against you for sure.
I'm loving all these mines, man. I love it when players place mines. I think it's one of the most effective strategies anybody can implement into their gameplay, right? I mean, it's not a lot of APM, and it pays off so big. So, love seeing that from our players too, especially on that cutoff.
What I think is hilarious is that's literally the exact spot that the 250 hit Bismarck's mine. And then Bismarck himself runs into the same mine placed by his opponent. Okay, so SirAMovesALot going Espionage. So fight abuse with abuse, I guess, is what we're going to see here.
I actually really like the Espionage as an answer. Now, I've only seen it... Can't remember who it was. It's such a cool strategy where you can actually sneak up on the half-tracks or basically bait your opponent to walk into your stealth units, and I think it's such a cool answer. And I also think it's pretty good on this map because you can hide those intel disruption beacons in the trees here, so yeah, I'm interested to see what he does with it.
Yeah, and so he's flipped his 250 to a mortar half-track and has been using it very effectively. Nice incendiary round comes in on one of the MGs. So using it to just punish these 1919s. Zulu unfortunately loses a Pioneer. And now the quad mount. Oh, the Panzer Pioneers might pick up a 1919 here. Now it's going to get away. Never mind. I got excited for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, more Paras coming in. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this is what I had in mind for our Africa Corps player with that mortar half-track. I think this is a perfect answer to these heavy machine guns. I mean, you can see that stranglehold that our U.S. players got on that left side. These mortars are really letting him back into this area, so happy to see that for him after such a rough start.
Yeah. They're making some progress, but they still don't own either plus 10 fuel. And now they're down 480 to 320 in VPs. So this is textbook from the Allies. Early game aggression translating directly into resource and VP control. Oh, this Pack 38 is just not facing the right way to do it this half track. Looks like it's going to reface. Actually, he's going to back it up. A half track with bazookas in it.
Better thinking a little better of it though. It doesn't know if there's mines in the fog of war. It doesn't know if his opponent's got another AT gun. So I think that was smart, not charging in despite what we can see.
Yeah. I agree with you. He is doing well to be very deliberate with the approach, and they already have such a huge resource advantage. Well, FooKilla has already got 161 fuel. He can easily go for tier 4 now if he wants. Bismarck, meanwhile, going for advanced logistics. Oh man, advanced logistics with 450 cals. That's going to be tough to deal with. Zulu's MP40 Grens doing all right against these airdrop machine guns. Oh, and a Pack 40 knocks out a half track.
Yeah,
that's an important pickup, I think.
On our Zulu just called in the troop and mechanized assault group there, so I absolutely love this strat, especially on low fuel rate. Troopin are just so good against all sorts of infantry, and when you don't have another answer, I think it's a great choice. So, what do you? Are you a fan of this Colin as much as I am?
Yeah, I prefer the mechanized. Wow, that Zook half track doing a lot of damage, knocking out the med truck. And actually, the Zooks might clean up this other 250 as well. A 50 cal was cleared. Actually, the Stoss Troop can clear a 50 cal and pick it up immediately. That's a huge pickup for Zulu. Yeah, the Stoss Troopen are great. I like the mechanized one better because it comes with a Stug D as opposed to a Stummel. But the Stoss Troopen are also really good counter to all these machine guns because their Vet 1 allows them to break suppression. And so they're like literally a direct counter to machine gun positions.
Ooh. We saw that there, picking up that 50 cal. Yeah. Half track in danger though. Gonna get out of there.
Oh wow. The 50 cal knocks it out. That's a couple of nice pickups for Zulu right there. Pack 40 caught a little bit out of position, but the Paras are just a little slow to react to it. It looks like they might be able to clear it here either way. I guess it doesn't matter if they do because that looks like purchased veteran C on the Pack 40. So as soon as it's recruit, it'll be fine.
The grenade's gonna hit those engineers.
Actually, at short range, the Paras are just getting smoked.
Love seeing our German player use that remount ability from the
half track.
From that 251, yeah, for the discount. That's nice. Oh, deep 250 on the left side.
Yep. So the captain has used marked target on it. If these Zooks get another salvo, yeah, 250's knocked out. It was a nice push. That's a lot of 250s knocked out for SirAMovesALot, but he has been able to regain more or less the kind of the northwest side and that fuel. So at least the Axis team not base locked like they kind of were even just like 3 or 4 minutes ago.
And they've definitely slowed the bleeding on victory points here. We'll see how long that lasts, but
yeah, FooKilla's got a nice. Oh man, those incendiary rounds on the AT guns. They're nasty. FooKilla's going to get another cutoff here. I wonder if we're going to see this 251. Oh, assault grenade is knocked out by the Paras. Nice flank. I wonder if we're going to see Zulu flip this to a Stummel. That's another decent counter to the MG spam. But I think he values it too much as a like reinforcement platform right now. Plus, as the 251, he can lay Regals.
Right, and I think if he's having to face, well, I guess there's only 175 on the field right now, but having to face check out with that Stummel to do work with it is going to be super risky proposition. So I think his decision to leave it as is a good choice.
Yeah, and what I like about FooKilla's build here is he hasn't gone rifles or barracks, but he's, because of the Paras, he still has really solid main lines that are going to scale well into the late game, and he's floating an obscene number of resources right now. Although they're down, they lost both of their fuels. I would love to see him invest into a tank depot and try to keep the momentum with a couple of Shermans on the field.
Removes a lot adding on a support gun here. That's an interesting decision.
An LAIG, yeah.
I was saying how much I like indirect fire on this map, and apparently he agrees with me. We'll see if he can get some work done here. He's going to have to do some serious work, though.
Oh, Scout Squad knocked out. What is that? Okay, so the Panzer Grenadiers salvaged the med truck and apparently found a Breda. So they had access to Italian medics, it appears. Okay, we're going to see a third paratrooper squad on the field from FooKilla. Oh, Satchel, but the assault cannons just sprint away. It's really funny because this map, like, in 1v1s feels big, but in 2v2s feels very tight. And we've got an engagement across literally the entire front, like crossing the river, as you'd expect. The entire range of it, which is kind of fun.
It's funny, there's even some Panzer Grenadiers hiding in cover, or hiding in stealth, waiting for the US player to push in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They can probably sneak up there. Oh, there it goes. He packs up the machine gun and they immediately... Wow, the patience to wait for that shot. Oh,
it's
man.
cool to see players use those commanders to their maximum, or battle groups, I should say. I think I'm using a CoH3 term. In any case, using those battle groups to their best there, using every last ounce of it is very cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And that, you know, his radio beacon is in a great spot here. His opponent is not going to be able to get at it, so we're going to be seeing stealth plays on this left side.
Yeah, it just gives him a really strong position to pivot from, right? So, nice dodge on the grenade there from Zulu. That half track is engine critted, but there's nothing really in position to challenge it. But yeah, I like this from SirAMovesALot because he can kind of anchor here in the middle. And the Espionage battle group's really built to be a good kind of anchor, or an anvil, if you will, and allow your other teammate to be more mobile, which you'd expect from Breakthrough, which is what Zulu is playing.
I'm curious where our German players want to go from here. I mean, it feels like... I'm really liking Zulu's army composition overall, and it feels like SirAMovesALot is a little bit behind, probably because he's taken some early losses. But they're getting up there, and here's the Panzer Company. Excuse me, I don't know how to pronounce that. The Panzer Command?
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Panzer Army Command for the DAK, right, the Tier 4. I think it's really going to come down to, like, who wants to play with the artillery, because Zulu's gone Panzer Grenadier Company, so he can easily get a naval werfer. But if SirAMovesALot is going to use a walking Stuka, he's already got an LAIG, then I think it makes sense for Zulu to continue to focus on being that, like, mobile firepower.
And maybe we might see him save up for a Tiger here. I think, you know, I think that'd be a good option for him. He doesn't have to tech up at all. He's got a great army composition, and I think a Tiger might fit in nicely.
Yeah. Man, FooKilla is floating so much fuel. These AT guns backing out before the 50 cal finds them. That's the other nice thing about that disruption beacon, is it also tells you when enemy units are moving through your territory. Super handy. Alright, now FooKilla, we're seeing a tank depot and a mortar pit. I like this, the positioning on the mortar pit there. Kind of similar to the disruption beacon, trying to hold down the center. And Bismarck's going to keep putting the screws to SirAMovesALot over here. Oh, the Assault Gren half-track just immediately smoked by the 275 mils. The 1919 in position. Ooh, one of them knocked out by a salvo from the Pak 38s. I think that's a trade you'll take. Right? A 250 for a 75 mil half-track.
Anytime I'm trading manpower for fuel, I'm happy.
Yeah. Stosstroop and knockout in 1919. in the middle. Looks like the Grens are going to pick it up and retreat. And KD actually extremely even, both vehicles and infantry. VPs are not, though. The Allies still at a huge advantage in terms of victory points. They own both fuels. So I think it has felt like that the Axis have been doing... Oh, another half-track goes down. It's felt to me like the Axis have kind of clawed their way back, but they are still very much on the struggle bus here.
Right, I think they're riding a knife's edge because Bismarck has enough to call in a Pershing here. Or am I off by just a little bit?
Bismarck, oh, he has plenty. Yeah, you're right. We're about to see.
I was looking at his command points. I wasn't. Oh yeah, duh. He has one. He's just barely off the command points there. So we're going to be seeing that Pershing here shortly, I suspect.
And actually, he's 2 command points away because he has yet to make one more selection.
Oh, yep.
So we got a minute there. I want to know what killed that Stummel. I missed that in the middle. Panzergrenadiers had picked up a bar as well. The Stoss
both sides use.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say both sides using that indirect fire to good effect here, and now it's the indirect artillery war here between the support gun and the mortar.
I think the LEIG should win that if they identify it. Yeah. A nice Vet 3 MG42 covering these Grens here from Zulu as he tries to take control of this fuel.
Extra paratroopers coming in the left, though. Might get around the field of fire there.
Oh, and the airburst barrage. Yeah, it's got to bounce. Interestingly, the 75mm half-track is using its direct fire, which is just really ineffective against infantry. If you're going to attack an MG, you got to use the barrage.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Honestly, I think players with higher APM can get away with it, right? Because they can just let it attack, and then they can, point it at something important when that something comes along. Mm-hmm. But it is really funny to try and see him kill infantry with the 75mm.
Yeah. Another airdropped HMG comes in. Zulu's Trip Vet Assault Grenadiers are right on top of it. They may actually pick that up. That's a free machine gun for the Axis there. They're gonna he's gonna throw a satchel on it rather than let Zulu pick it up. I think that's probably the best possible outcome for FooKilla there. Wow, that mortar pit is healed up and now at Vet 2. And then
it's a little scary.
Yeah, SirAMovesALot
that accuracy is big.
Yeah, that and the just the extra health that it gets at Vet 2 as well. I say SirAMovesALot had an 88 queued up, but he canceled it in favor of the Walking Stuka.
So I think, as you anticipated, indirect fire from our Africa Corps. Oddly enough, Zulu added on his Panzer Company, but then didn't build anything from it.
I mean, what do you think makes sense here? Probably a Brumbear, right?
Well, I was actually thinking that I didn't like him building the building. But, yeah, so I'm just curious what he was thinking, because it feels like he had a plan adding that on, but I don't know. Yeah, I suppose we're going to see a Sturmpanzer. I think that heavy frontal armor, I mean, they're not facing down a ton of anti-tank, but that huge armor can be really annoying for U.S. players to deal with.
Yeah, even the half-track struggle to penetrate it from the front. FooKilla gets a bulldozer out, and this is dangerous because there's not much on the field. I take it back. The Pack 40s will do okay against it, and Zulu's got 2 of them.
And he's doing a great job of screening for his units, right? I mean, he's got those Pioneer Squad, and their one and only job is to see the bad guys and then run for their lives, right? So it's nice. I mean, he's got a great field of vision here.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, because most people forget Pioneers are actually kind of designed as scouting units. Speaking of which, Pershing on the field. But the Pioneers are designed to have some additional vision, so using them to spot for your team weapons is really smart. Oh, these Grens. Pershing whiffs its first shot, but it could chase here.
Oof.
You feel like it should do more damage. Oh, there it is. That Gren's knocked out.
Yeah, nice pick up there. AT guns repositioning, though. I don't know if he has vision, though.
And we're seeing a third AT gun from both Axis players. Wow, Bulldozer takes a couple of huge hits. That Bulldozer is going to go down here. One more shot. Oh, it bounces the last shot. Insane.
I swear there's something in this game where the penetration gets harder the lower health a unit is. I feel like I see that so often. I mean, that's not actually what's happening, but I think a lot of it is the distance, right? And he faced the front armor there, so it was a low chance to penetrate, all things considered.
Yeah.
It's just funny to see vehicles scoot away on 1 health.
That only seems to work for my opponent and not for me.
That's, yeah. I think everyone here would feel the same.
Well, Captain knocked out. I think Bismarck needs to be careful here because SirAMovesALot has the incendiary munitions on his AT gun. So you would feel like, oh, it's Pack 38s on the DAK side, but the potential for damage is actually much higher. Pershing hits Vet 1. I hope they adjust this in the next patch because I feel like the Pershing hits Vet 1 like immediately.
Yeah, it is maybe a little overtuned right now. I think part of the reason that happens is just because of the insane amount of damage this vehicle does.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a bit strong.
And I'm okay with it being good. It shouldn't be at, Vet 1 after being on the field for a minute, Vet 3 after 3 minutes.
Right.
But
and sometimes even more aggressive.
Yeah. I think Zulu's MG42 to the Bulldozer that's now complete. Oh, it's a second Bulldozer. Oh, but look at that salvo from 3 Pack 40s. And then the Faust comes in. Bulldozer just smoked. Oh, that was brutal.
I think that's what you get for face checking with your vehicles. I guess you did have an engineer there, but...
No, that's a fair point. All that said, Axis down to 75 points here. Allies have done a great job keeping the VP pressure on. But all these stolen MGs that the Axis have access to, really helping them screen, or like kind of counter screen the Allied infantry.
Yeah, but I think, as you've identified, we've reached the stage in the game where our Axis players have to pretty much do nothing but focus on victory points, and it's a little less severe because it's a 2v2. They can share that responsibility, but it's going to be a mad dash here to hold on to these victory points.
Yeah, well, 1 MG cleared in the center by the Bulldozer. A second one forced to retreat by the Airburst barrage. Stoss coming in. The one thing that I've noticed here is that Bismarck, his unit composition, basically 4 machine guns and a Pershing. Wow, and the Pack 38s, the triple Pack 38s, just doing a ton of damage. Oh, I don't know if I would test this as the Pershing. Oh no. Oh, but it dives. It swings past the Pack 38s. The engineer's there to provide cover. A satchel comes in. That's a great play from Bismarck. All 3 Pack 38s knocked out. SirAMovesALot, I was just about to give him credit for really shredding Bismarck's force and take control of this fuel. But he just lost 3 AT guns there.
Fortunately for him, his opponent didn't destroy them, and actually it was a nice move by Zulu coming in on the left side to save those AT guns from destruction there. That's actually really important. I mean, that's 600 manpower almost, so... I guess we may have reached the stage where manpower is starting to matter less, but Zulu's got a nice little bank here, honestly. So, in any case, nice pickup, nice save.
Yeah, and that Persian's going to be off the field for a minute as well. Now, Bismarck has a ton of manpower, but not short on fuel. He's got a Bulldozer in the build. Man, how do you...
Hilariously enough, I saw Bismarck add on a... He had it on a munitions cache on the left side, but it actually looks like it got destroyed. Just trying to spend his manpower any way he can, maybe.
It's funny, because I feel like he desperately needs some indirect to deal with these Pack 40s. I wonder if he wouldn't be well served by getting a couple of just mortar teams out. Oh, the walking Stuka in on the 50 cal. Those are some big hits. And it gets cleared. Pershing taking a couple of hits from Pack 40s at range. It's going to back up. Bulldozer moves up. Well, FooKilla's completely recovered the other side. Oh, that's because Zulu moved into the middle to support Dumais. Oh no. Stolen 50 cal, getting shredded by the bulldozer here.
And this match has just devolved into chaos. I love it.
This has just been a bloodbath. All these dead machine guns.
Yeah, there's like a captain holding down the house on the right side, supported by a bulldozer, and there's like no Axis troops around. We do see a Tiger tank out for Zulu here.
MG42 knocked out. Oh, this Tiger. Not the DAK Tiger, but it's still super dangerous. Now, I think the Vet 2 Pershing one-on-one with the Tiger would win, but a Tiger supported by 6 anti-tank guns could do fine. The problem, though, is not the Pershing. It is the VPs and all of this American infantry. Oh. Okay, so this is a pet peeve of mine. These assault Grens hanging out as the walking Stuka comes in. I think at the competitive level, there needs to be some real friendly fire from artillery. Oh, the Grens picked up with bazooka. The bulldozer on a sliver of health. One more shot will do it. But they're not going to get it. Oh, walking Stuka clears yet another machine gun. SirAMovesALot has used that really, really well. I actually wonder what the kill count is. There any, can you check the kill counter on that walking Stuka?
Sure. 9. You know, but that's the story of indirect fire, right? You always check mortars. I mean, even this support gun literally has 0. You know, and that's the story of indirect fire, because it doesn't do a ton of kills, but it does a massive amount of damage, and it's attrition that your opponent has to deal with, right? So
I think there's actually a bug where some explosive based damage does not get fully credited. So it's not that it only really got 9 kills. It's that because of a bug in the counting, it's only getting credit for 9. Same thing with the LEIG. I'm positive that the LEIG has done far more damage than that.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh man. Did you see the Tiger vaporize the captain about 30 seconds ago?
Yep, I did. I saw him vaporize a heavy machine gun here too.
That was the second captain for Bismarck. Unfortunate. More walking Stuka coming in on these MGs here. A couple of big hits. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that Hellcat. Oh, it's just gonna get shredded by these AT guns.
And he's destroying his own heavy machine guns there. After the Stuka hit him to prevent the captures, isn't gonna manage to stop that second capture. Wait, what just happened? It just disappeared, I swear.
All right, so we have an airborne. This is the reconnaissance loiter over the middle.
And man, Bismarck has taken a beating in the last 5 or 10 minutes here. He is down to just 4 infantry squads. Does have that Hellcat though to help deal with this Tiger, but he does not have a lot of capturing power. Wouldn't mind seeing our our allies sort of group up. Feels like they're strong on the right now, and I think putting all their forces into one area might be good for them.
Wow. Big creeping barrage onto that mortar pit, but it's Vet 3. Oh, here's the Black Dragon. This is what I was thinking that Bismarck needed. Wow. All 3 Pack 40s cleared. It's so hard. I love it. Tiger not blessed though.
Yeah, he wiped out the guns too, so those are not going to be easy to replace at this stage.
Honestly, that's huge, because that opens up the field for the Hellcats to be effective. With so many AT guns on the field, the Hellcats are just made of paper.
Ooh, Flak 36.
Ooh.
Big hits on the Hellcat.
Wow.
On that left side. Wow, almost going down.
I love to see good like Flak 36 and 17 pounder play, because it's so hard to micro effectively, but when it's done well, it is so dangerous.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's so cool to see good players use this, move it around. I mean, you have to move your AT around even the AT that can move on its own, because if your opponent knows where they are, they're going to go around it, right? Or they're going to work against it with indirect fire or some other counters. So it's very cool to see, you know, them do that with a somewhat immobile vehicle. And actually, he's making use of that intel radio beacon to cloak the unit. So cool seeing his command, his battle group come together. So.
Well, and that just makes it even more effective. It gets that ambush bonus plus the incendiary munitions. You're looking at, you know, 300 to 360 damage per shot from that Flak 88. Oh, Pershing smashes an assault cran squad. It hits Vet 3 in the process.
Tiger on the right side. This bulldozer's looking a little in jeopardy here. Good for him that the flame damage, what's that called? The incendiary munitions doesn't actually kill.
It won't take the last bit of health. Oh man, those engineers between the Stas and the Tiger can be a rough day. Oh, the Grenz with the bazooka also threatening the Hellcat. FooKilla, his units, all his vehicles are shoved back. Wow, Hellcat knocked out. Luckily for him, they don't realize. Wow, FooKilla looks like he says I'm done, but look at the Pershing dives the Tiger supported by 2 Hellcats.
He's gonna get it. Nice.
Tiger knocked out.
Recognizing that Tiger was a little overextended there. Nice pickup for him. Even got him behind that heavy machine gun, the pack there.
Yep. SirAMovesALot has rotated the Flak 36 into the middle.
This FooKilla's Hellcat, not sure what it's doing. Gonna bail out.
It actually has to be careful. These Grenz with this bazooka. And actually the Pershing is pointing its rear armor at it. Zulu is undeterred though. He's still working on the cutoff here. And the Axis have a triple cap on. Wow, that mortar pit's still alive. LEIG coming in on it. Yeah, SirAMovesALot has occupied the entire north side of the map. See if this walking Stuka barrage will actually knock out. This is funny because the mortar pit crew has moved so far away from the actual pit that it looks like they're getting hit and it's not doing any damage. That's another fun little bug. Oh, Zulu's Pioneer is smoked.
And a barrage from that Stuka taking out the half track. Not that it was doing a whole lot at this late stage in the game, but you know, it's interesting that FooKilla said he was done. I mean, he's got a lot of high veterancy units that scale well to this stage of the game, and I know he's probably frustrated by, you know, everything that's been going on. Big push through the middle here, though.
And the Flak 36 got cleared, re-picked up by the Panzer Pioneers. Oh, but the Pack 38 in the back has got plenty. I love Grenadiers just rolling around with bazookas. Hellcat smoked. 2 Hellcats and a Pershing in the middle. Yeah, Axis still have the triple cap on here.
And a lot of those U.S. forces pinned down by a single heavy machine gun.
Yep. If that Flak 36... Oh. That 3 Pershing's still alive. That's, you know, the last best hope, I think, for the Allies, but...
I'm loving this banter going back and forth.
Oh, so my overlay kind of covers a lot of it up. He said fake GG.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pershing gets a sticky bomb. Oh, and then walks right into the Stuka barrage. Oof. And now...
And that's...
I say now the DAK
Stuka.
Tiger hits the field.
Ooh. I was saying that Stuka's been hunting this Pershing all game long. I mean, this is like the 3rd barrage he's attempted on this Pershing. Is going to get that glancing blow, though. Not quite enough. Black 36 getting some hits. Look at that low health Pershing walking away with 1 HP.
Wow. So FooKilla did manage to grab one of the victory points, but I don't think there's enough left here. Bismarck down to just a couple of units. The Pershing on its last legs. all these infantry just getting mowed down by stolen machine guns. Vet 3 Stas trooping on flank. Oof. And now SirAMovesALot Tiger rolls in the middle. Zulu
putting a nice
can call his Tiger on as well. Yeah,
putting a nice little exclamation point on that game.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Allied build orders, and honestly, no real surprises here. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of the meta for US players to really lean on the M1919 HMG. So on FooKilla's side, locks in Airborne, uses the Airborne HMG drop to take a lot of map control early to include fuel and that Southern VP. Really, really effective. Eventually backs it up with a weapon support center and paras. Then he gets into the tank depot, and this is where the strategy starts to kind of fade out a little bit. The bulldozers are nice, as is the Hellcat, but that power peak in the late game is kind of mitigated for USF if you don't have access to it via Battlegroup. These are really good mediums, but they're really not a match for the heavies and the massed anti-tank firepower that the Axis team is able to generate. From a tech perspective, he goes ISC for the captain, med station, advanced logistics, survival training, munition surplus. Clearly, fuel is not an issue for him here. From the Airborne battle group, really all he uses are the heavy machine gun call-ins and the paras, as well as that recon loiter one time, I think. We didn't really see rocket strikes. We definitely didn't see carpet bombing runs. Those might have been really helpful. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. On Bismarck's side, he goes heavy weapons battle group. And really no surprise, his goal here is to stall into the purging. So 4 1919 HMGs, and he does a really good job taking away that fuel from Dumais on the north side of the map. He also gets some bazookas, leans on the half tracks a little bit, and then, surprise, purging once he gets 10 CPs. It's at about the 23-minute mark, which isn't bad. He would have had it faster if he hadn't, had to wait on the CPs. He had tons of resources. And you would think that some of those resources might have been better spent on additional units, but the purging does a lot and gets to Vet 3. After the purging is built, he builds a tank depot, which I like this choice, right? Get some weapons on the field to kind of support the purging. Starts with a bulldozer and then transitions into Hellcats as the Axis get some heavy tanks of their own on the field. For tech, infantry support center, and advanced logistics, and that's really pretty much it. From a battle group point of view, really focuses on the half track exchangeable parts or interchangeable parts. If for no other reason than it shortens the build time on your half track or conversion time to 8 seconds, which is really nice. Uses the purging, obviously, and unlocks the 50 cals and the rapid reposition. And then the Black Dragon at the end of the game, it's really expensive, but it is effective, and he does use it to great effect on those massed AT guns late in the game. Okay, now taking a look at the Axis build order. SirAMovesALot, aka Dumais, he locks in the Battlefield Espionage battle group, not right away. It takes him a few minutes. Other than that, he starts with a pretty balanced DAK build and continues that balance throughout the game. Panzer Pioneers, Kradschützen, a couple Panzer Grenadiers, several 250 half-tracks to include an assault mechanized group, 3 Pak 38s, and LEIG in the mid-game, which I think is a really nice choice to start to counter these HMGs and take back some of that terrain. Walking Stuka, and that's really when you see Bismarck start to kind of struggle, is when the Walking Stuka hits the field. Dumais does a great job making those barrages really impact the game. At the very end, he gets a Flak 36 and a Tiger 1. Uses several armory upgrades throughout the game. The combat half tracks, which I'm really liking that upgrade with the slight health bonus and the armor bonus, helps you manage those early game machine guns and bazookas just a little bit better. Fire support elements, veteran squad leaders, vehicle survival package, and then armored reserves. Good choices across the board based on how his build basically fleshes out throughout the game. Then for Zulu, who's playing the Wehrmacht, goes breakthrough battle group, 2 Pioneers, infantry company, grenadiers, and HMG. He gets a Panzer Grenadier company really only for the Pak 40s, ends up building 3 of those. Uses the mechanized assault group. That's the 251 half track and the Stas-Truppen. That is a nice choice. Those Stas-Truppen eventually get Vet 3 and do a lot of work for the Axis side. He ends up building a Panzer Command, but doesn't really get anything from it. His late game is really about using the infantry and team weapons that he has to support his teammate, and then that Tiger 1, which has a pretty nice impact on the game and map control until it gets knocked out by Bismarck's big push there. The only tech he really invests into is the tier 1 officers' quarters. From a Battlegroup perspective, you had Dumais really make good use of the plunder ability from the Espionage Battlegroup, the disruption beacons, and the incendiary munitions. And then on Zulu's side, really what you saw was the MP40s from the Grens, the mechanized assault group, that call-in, and the Tiger call-in. So you're not seeing every ability from every battle group, and I think that's probably because of the map and the way this game played out. But picking and choosing the right abilities to help these guys close this one out. So let's go grab Josh and do a bigger recap of the game here. All right, so that was a banger. A pretty incredible comeback. So Josh, I will kick it over to you. What was your biggest takeaway watching the Axis Claw that went back?
Yeah, and I think that Espionage battle group from our Africa Corps player was absolutely MVP. I mean, it made holding that left side feel effortless. And I know there were times where it got scary. There was that Pershing push. There was that Black Dragon barrage that really tore him up. But overall, I think it allowed a lot of fights to go his way. And, right up until that last minute there, where the fight was dragging towards the middle, I think, he was holding down that left side with just a couple squads, and it was MVP.
Yeah, you pointed it out during the cast, but I wanted to hit back on it again. So that disruption beacon placement behind the trees was really smart because it allowed him to contest those MG positions with his infantry using the ambush bonus. And then obviously all of his AT guns, not only do they get the incendiary munitions, they get the ambush bonus there as well. And then with 3 of them, even if one of them, bounces a shot, it's still a significant amount of damage. And the US armor just doesn't have the health pool that some of the other tanks do. So really whittling away, allowing him to easily contest that VP and then still be close enough to support in the middle there, which is something else that you kind of brought up as we were kind of taking a look at this game afterwards. I've mentioned it before. There's this concept of interior versus exterior lines. And so the US players really focused on kind of that playing wide, focusing on the flanks, owning the fuels. That's what you call like an exterior lines approach, right? And so it's really good because you can force your opponent into one position where it's easy to concentrate fire, but it means that reinforcing, and in this case playing together, requires much larger movement, so it's more difficult, can be disrupted by the enemy, requires more time to move your units around. As opposed to the Axis approach, and in particular, the way that SirAMovesALot or Dumais was playing, he was very centralized. And so that allowed the Axis team to kind of shift back and forth. And so you pointed it out. The Pershing dove those Pac 38s, knocked them out. But Zulu was able to easily shift his Pac 40s over because it's just, a 20-foot movement into the middle of the map and push the Pershing away. And that's huge because the doctrinal answer for an opponent that's relying on interior lines to hold a position is artillery, because they're clustered up, so you concentrate fire on them. And the US faction as a general really lacks good especially non-doctrinal artillery options. You've got the mortar pit, and then everything else is built on the battle group. So I suppose you have the 75 mil half tracks. They could have built a ton of those, but in general, it's the Black Dragon artillery they had access to, which you saw and used effectively, but really high munitions. And then the carpet bombing, which we didn't see, was available to FooKilla. I think that's what their approach was missing to kind of close out on the back end and deal with some of those team weapons. But that's just and you notice that in kind of the context of the Espionage battle group doing such a good job anchoring on that side. Does that make sense? I know I've been talking for 5 minutes now.
No, yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, I think there was a stage in that game where our US players may have been able to come together and work together on the same side of the map to get some serious work done. Maybe, if I'm remembering correctly, that artillery barrage that we saw on the AT guns, I mean, it was just the Pershing, it didn't feel like there was a whole lot actually happening following up that artillery barrage. And I think, you know, we saw our purple player Bismarck get, I mean, he got squad wiped bad, right? But his teammate had a ton of infantry. And I think that they could have used a combined arms approach together to make something happen in a particular area on the map. I mean, it's tempting to keep playing your lane, keep playing your side, but at some point you got to come together. So,
yeah, I have a feeling. I don't know. I have a feeling that the Allied team was not an arranged team. I have no way of actually checking this. I suspect that the Axis team could have been an arranged team, but I did see them chatting to each other in text. So it's possible nobody was on voice comms. And so that makes that kind of coordination much more difficult, especially like for the Allies. Like you said, what they needed to do was really shift their strategy from let's hold the flanks to one of us needs to hold the center and contest the center. And they weren't able to make that pivot on the fly. And I'll chalk that up, I think, mainly to comms and just the feel that you get from playing with the same teammate over and over again.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a great point. It really is tough to coordinate with Ranos online, but I think, yeah.
This is why, like, for people that are newer to the game, that's why I suggest it's better to play with someone that's new than to queue up random, because that gap in communication can be really frustrating to deal with. So it's almost always better to be on voice comms, be on Vox with a teammate, even if, you know, they're brand new or you're brand new to the game. Play with your friends. It's better that way. Josh, is there anything that I missed? Anything you want to go over one more time?
No, I think you nailed it. Really happy to be casting with you. This has been a really fun experience, and that was a great game. So much chaos, so much destruction. So I hope everybody enjoyed as much as I did.
Yeah, it was really epic, especially at the end there with Tigers and Pershings and all the machine guns getting one shot. That poor captain and his whole retinue just vaporized. I probably shouldn't be enjoying it that much, but it was really, really satisfying to see. Josh, thank you very much for joining me. You did a fantastic job. Just a reminder, everyone else, again, Fancy Josh on YouTube. He does some really, really awesome 1v1 casts, focusing on kind of the top ranked ladder players, a lot of observer mode stuff too. So catching it live as it happens. But thank you for joining us. So Dumais, Zulu, Bismarck, FooKilla, great game, well played. Love when they go down to the wire. Thank you for supplying me with this one. I really appreciate it. And that's going to do it for us here, everyone. We'll see y'all in the next one.